Okay. I think I'm live. Let's see here. I think I've been live for a while. Let me check my audio though, because I forgot I turned it off last night. I was doing something else, so excuse me just for a second. Oh no, there I am. Hey, good morning to you. Let me go to the shot here. Hey, I just left the counter up this morning as I was finishing up some poppies. I started to paint them yesterday, but I ran out of time, and I had Davidson here, the young man that I spent the afternoon with, and all day. It was great. Made a great Brandon iron. He made one for his personal logo. He's a good kid, and you know what high school kids need to do today? They need to find their place in the world. So, listen to a little Baroque music this morning. If what's that old saying? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So there we go. Hey, good morning to you. Top of the morning. My name is Michael. My grandkids, most people just call me Roo. And because Han is German and it means rooster. And so I paint roosters. Glad you joined me this morning. Let me say hello to some of you folks. Let me get a couple screens out of the way here. There's a camera coming to me across the studio. Then there's one coming down here. You can see that there. And so let me say, so I'll just lean over here to my controls. Deborah, thank you. Skeeter Pal, good morning to you, man. Hey, it was fun being on Zoom call with you yesterday and all your folks from Capernaum. Man, what a great thing to teach them art. And I wasn't doing any instructing. I was just watching. As a matter of fact, I have my audio so jumbled up from this show that I couldn't even link in to say hello. But it was great to see those folks plow through that and draw what they were drawing. I love it. Your instructor I think he's just out of high school or in high school. Fabulous. So thanks for saying hello. Bobby King, good morning to you all. Carol, Belinda, Lynn, thank you. Thank you. Hey, you like the puppies? Well, I ripped off a plate from the kitchen. Let me just go and show you here. This is the plate I ripped off from. This is Port Marion, and literally, just look at this. It's a great still life. For me, it's going to be a story because I think I'm going to put a couple bees around it, and I don't know if bees. Bees get nectar from honeysuckle. They get nectar from poppies, but I got some detail to do on it. I just kind of roughed out my sketch. And so it's coming together. And I don't do many paintings like this at all. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've done more than 10 since I started doing this because it's just not something I do. I don't sit and paint a lot of flowers. But I think they ought to have a story. I love them, and I wish they grew better in my yard. My wife did a stained glass window of some poppies recently. So anyway, that's the story on the poppies. Morning to you, Kim. Wendy, morning to you. Jackie, hello. And Debbie. Skeeter, I thank you for your note. I want a top fan. I don't know how to do that. I think I'm a top fan on a couple of people that I follow, but I don't know how to do that. I assume on Facebook there's a little thing for top fan, or I tell people I'm a box fan. You know, those guys that are square and just have three speeds. That's me, and I'm usually wide open. Alice, thank you. Crystal, good morning. Yvonne, welcome back. Friday morning, good to you. Mary Jones, nice to see you. Neil says that rooster looks like a flower. Well, it could be coxcomb. That is a rooster flower, but it's one I've never painted. And yes, Terry, thank you for keeping count. Look at this. I think making it to 100 would be a good challenge. You got me. All right, let's do it. Let me move these poppies over, and I'll come back to that. Top of the morning to you, and we'll get started here. Just throwing stuff across the studio. Here it is right here. It's day. Let me go to the desk here so you can see this. Let me go to both. Marie, thank you. Judy, hello. Denise, Jennifer, golly, Jody, Lisa, thank you. Lisa wrote your name down a couple times. Got a couple paintings coming to you. And Mallory, thank you for joining me this morning. Or Hey Roo, as our 3-year-old calls you. Hey Roo, what's a wheelbarrow? Sometimes I'm out in the yard with the grandkids. And one of them will go, hey, Roo, and the other one will go, what's a wheelbarrow? And I'm going like, stop it. So they do it all the time. I love it. Hey, Roo, what's a wheelbarrow is the title of my book. Bees love poppies. Thank you, Luann. I appreciate that. Genoa, thank you for jumping on board. All right, Marianne Beatty, good morning to you. Man, a voice from our past. Nice friend out of Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. It's a tough place to suffer, isn't it, Ponte Vedra Beach? We used to call PV Beach Oz. You get up at 12, go to work at 1, take an hour for lunch, and then at 2, you're done. Jolly good fun. I miss living at the beach. Not as much as my wife does, but we miss living at the beach. Hey, here's the desk. It is day 67 on Rue Doodle's painting. There it is right there. There's the mark. Not very straight, but I made it in right there. That's it. Day 67. I was keeping them over here when I did B52. And then now that I thought, hey, I could do this. I thought about putting an abacus in the shop, but I'd have to go over there and slide those things across it. I don't know how they count those anyway. So it's day 57, and Terry just said 100 would be a good thing to shoot for. I'll see. Okay, got some busy stuff coming up, but hey, for warm up today, take a look at what I've done. I've got to go out today just for a little while. Things are freeing up just a little bit, and I get out of here. And me and Noah, we've seen Skeeter. I saw the dove fly over yesterday with the branch in its mouth. From the art class that you guys were doing for those sweet kids, man. Wow, those special needs folks are just unbelievable that you hang out with. And it's so impressive what you do. And so I saw that dove with and I thought, man, I'm like, no, I just need to open it. We just need to open the gates and go out and stand in the sunshine. Maybe that's part of why I started painting a flower all of a sudden. So, all right, the orchestra playing this morning. Here they are. See that? You recognize that immediately as an orchestra. This is a bunch of scribbles when I started on the phone, and I add to it every day. Today I put in a xylophone player and an extra kittle drum and a little French horn right in here. See, you wouldn't have known that unless I told you. But you got to have a French horn if you're playing Baroque music. Don't fix it if it ain't broke. All right, here we go. Wow, day 67. Isn't that amazing? All right, so here we go. So a little warm up this morning. I got a couple things I want to do. The first thing is turn this music down so I can hear me. I'm just going to grab a small pen, a Pentel 05 Energel Pentel, Pentel. Still got some blacksmith dust under my fingernails, and after showered and scrubbed. And all right, so these are my Rue Doodles business cards. Here's what they look like on the front. Here's what they look like on the back. My printer did a great job. All right, this is 140 pound. I just chop it up in little 3x3 cubes, and then I just put a little Rue on here like this. If life were free, and it's not, but I could go out to the coffee shop and have tea, just borrow their water anyway. I would draw some little roosters like this. Just some crazy ones. And this is something that you should do to just, when I say doodle, this is true doodling for me right here. This is, and then you realize, oh my gosh, they're just like his big roosters. And yeah, this is where your style's going to come from. Mess that one up because I put his wattle way over there, but it's going to be a business card. And I'm going to write Rue Doodles on it. I'm only going to do 2 of these because I want to go to something else. I put ruedoodles.com on my business card. See, if people Google Rue Doodles, they come up with me. So I had 6 of them laid out there to do this morning, and then my ADD brain kicked into seeing that my wife's plate again that I brought up here. So I thought these go with me. Actually, I'll finish those today. I've got to wait on my wife for an appointment. And so, okay, so here we go. So what I would do now is I would take even one of my water brushes. If I had one up here on the deck, I moved them over because 2 of them are already in my bailout bag. You know what that is, right? That's the bag that you're going to take with you when you go somewhere. You're going to take some small pieces of paper. You are going to take your favorite 3 pens, maybe a brush. Let me move this over right here. You're going to take some 3 pens, maybe a brush. Let me get rid of this counter. It's done. And then you're going to take a little bit of paint, maybe in one of your tins, a small tin box. Every time I say tin, my grandkids sort of cringe. And there's no paint in this one yet, but these are the ones that I'm going to put together. These are the ones that my daughter did. But a little tin. I think I'm going to have, man, I'd love to have some of those with the rooster painted on them. That's a great idea. I might do that product-wise. That sounds fun. And then put my favorite colors in there. I'm on. If y'all would like that, I may do that this year. First, I got to write my other book, okay? Anyway, so I carry some paint. Let me wet these colors just a little bit here for you. Just spray a little water on my palette. Remember, these are tube paints that I've squeezed in here. So I'm going to say some of this stuff over and over until you kind of get a feel for where I'm headed with it. These trays are empty, and I fill them up with the paints that I use mostly, okay? Ultramarine blue, Joe's red or bold red, Gamble G or yellow, turquoise that I love, green. I need to add some green in here, but also like two different types of green. I like a deep green, and then I like a kind of a sap green, and so I'll put that in here. All right, so this is a Sag Harbor gray. I use it so much to just kind of boost it in there and let it run. So that's just some of the colors that I use. I like colors that have names of colors. You know, when you get into some of those colors that you go, what the heck does that mean? I don't know, and I don't keep up with the names. My wife knows every color and loves mixing colors. That's just kind of her thing. I think she would probably rather mix paint than paint. It's just, you go down that dark hole sometimes and you go, oh, look at this. It's brilliant. So this is what I do to make my business cards. It's a good warm-up for me, a little yellow or gamboge. The reason we call it gamboge is because, I don't know, I need to look that up. But the word itself, the paint color itself is just this real bold, strong yellow that I love. And so sometimes I would ask you to paint small paintings, even if you're doing flowers. Start doing little flowers. And Lynn, I got to ask you, did you do that card that you sent to my house the other day? If you did, those flowers in the pen, dated in the back, bravo. They were fabulous. So thank you very much. Hey, Caroline, and hey, Judy, and hey, Linda again. And so this is what I do. So I take a little paint set, I take it with me, and then I'm going to come in here. Sometimes if I'm sitting at the coffee shop and I've been making a note in my journal, I'll have one of my fountain pens. And this is what started this for me. One day, this was the only pen I had in my bailout bag or my briefcase. I just dropped by. And so I just said, well, I'll just sketch this in my pen and see what happens. And what happened was this beautiful bleed from the Speedball ink. I liked it so much that I just kept using it. And so, like, if I'll go in and add some marks in here or just put some little dots in here like this is what I want you to use small paper for. I want you just to get your hands on small pieces of paper. And I'm not saying rush. See my hands doing this? It's because I talk with them. I'm not saying rush, but I'm just saying don't deliberate over, oh, I don't know if I drew that right, and then erase, and don't know if I drew that right, and then erase. Pretty soon your paper is going to just be flattened out. All right? So just let it go. I'm not going to break into a Disney song, I promise you. But just lighten up. You know what I say, right? Angels fly because they take themselves so loosely. A little bit of turquoise in this thing right here. Maybe a little bit of blue in the tail of this one right here. There's no rhyme or reason. I didn't set out. I'm not looking at any roosters. I don't care what real roosters' colors are. Doesn't matter to me at all. Okay? This is the one color that I hardly ever use right here. I think it's probably a cerulean type blue. I don't like cobalt blue. I don't like, I just don't. It's not, I don't care for it. But today, just because, I'm just going to put some in this rooster, and you know, I'll somebody that I hand this to as a business card will go, oh, it's my favorite color. And I go, awesome. I won't say, oh no, I don't like that color. I say it to you people because you're learning as you go here. You're being bold to try and create. I hope you are. Okay? I hope you're stitching something or throwing something. You know, when I throw something, I'm thinking pots, not teacups at somebody. Okay? So a little bit of gray in this. And here's that Sag Harbor. I'm going to come over here and get it right here. You can see my brush going into it, just waving it in, just rolling the point around. I'm going to just drop a little of that in there on top right here. And then maybe use the Sag Harbor for just a little bit of splash too. I might ground these roosters just a little bit like this. And this is a long time for a business card, but guess what? I'm going to tell you about something. When people get your business card and you've hand painted it, you know what they do? They don't throw it away like all those business cards that they come from conferences and things with. You go like, my gosh, but what if you have to give out 500? I probably have, or 1,000. All right, so there's two of my business cards this morning. And they'll lay over here and dry. Then they'll go in my bag this morning. I'll see somebody along the road and they'll say, hey, you still painting roosters? I'll go, yep, look me up. Would that be up here? Yeah, you can see it there. Okay, let me throw those in the floor. You should see the carpet in my studio. No, I should see it. I don't know what color it is. All right. Yesterday I was working on a painting in the book just for more of my warm up, and the word was rassay, 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 rassay. Who knows how it's pronounced, and who really cares? But the word is kind of fun. It's to satisfy a hungry person. Had a great laugh with this yesterday with Skeeter because he was talking about meeting some kids for a pancake breakfast sometime soon or doing some sort of pancake breakfast. And so while we were talking on the phone, I sketched out some pancakes real quick. And they didn't have me vocally, but I could hold it up to the camera. And I had some pancakes, and it made me think about when I make crepes or pancakes for my kids. And I sent somebody my pancake recipe recently. Has ricotta cheese in it and a little touch of vanilla yogurt and lots more Madagascar vanilla, and then I mix it all up, sometimes even in a bullet, especially if I'm doing crepes. Cast iron. Uh, anyway, my grandkids love it when they're over here. So what I thought is that this was to satisfy someone, meaning enough. Rassay. And so for me, that was this little roux that I painted yesterday, and I never got to finish this because this was all wet. So I came in early this morning when I was sitting here cleaning up my desk to find it. And I thought that'd be fun if I just took that little peep and I put a fork in his hand and a bandana around his neck like this, and then I drew what he's after over here. So I think one is enough. So my grandson says, "Could I have 5 pancakes?" And so I'll do one that's like this big and about this thick. And he'll go, I think one is enough, because you're used to getting these little things that are about this big around. So there's my painting this morning. Then I turned the page and I noticed there was a word called Quantrelle. Quaintrelle. See if it'll focus on the word. I don't know that it will. Maybe not. I won't hold it up here too long. Yeah, it's not going to. Quantrelle. Quaintrelle is the word, and it's a well-dressed woman. A feminine form of a French word meaning beau, B-E-A-U, or fob, F-O-B. So it's Quantrelle, a well-dressed woman. And I thought, that'd be funny. What if, and it made me think of a word. And here's the word. So this is how my brain works, okay? So this is why I've used this book to find just words and go, where are you going to go with that creatively? What does a tree make you think of when you see the leaf? What does a poppy make you think of when you see that does it make you think of a Beatles song? Or does it make you think of, that time in our world? Or it makes me think of my wife loving them and doing them in stained glass and cutting all the different red glasses to lace them in Tiffany foil and then solder them together. We've been making stuff forever. So for me, it meant these two little peeps here that were running across the page, and this one running back to tell his mother or tell the other peep. And here's a little hen up here. There's her wattle and a little comb. And she's got on this I'm going to use this blue because I said I didn't care for it much. There it is right there. She's got on this little cool dress, but in the 60s, we wouldn't call this a dress. We would have called this a shift. Am I right? Yeah, a shift. And so it was not only just what it was called and the style, it was actually making a shift in design. Did you know that? So for me today, this actually made me think I should make a shift in design. I should change something. And so that's kind of what this boiled down to for me today. So there's a little in a shift. And so it reminded me of a story immediately, of a story that I wrote several years ago about a rooster, embellished folklore story that I used to go in schools and tell about a rooster that my grandfather had, which he really didn't have a rooster like that. But we had an old piano in our house, still have the piano. And the piano was called Wheelock. And it was made by the Exolian Piano Company out of New York. But the name on the piano was Wheelock. You look for Bosendorfer, you look for Baldwin and Yamahas, and you look Steinways. This one was Wheelock. I'm thinking, maybe the guy was John Wheelock or somebody. So I thought, what a great name for a rooster. So I came up with this concept of this rooster named Wheelock. And he actually was out in the flatlands of Tennessee, out east from where I lived, and way out east from where I lived. And he got caught in one of those Tennessee twisters that come through every now and then across the Midwest Tennessee out there. And what happened was and you know what? I like this blue now that I see it on this paper. It's pretty cool. He got twisted up like a dish towel, and just the cyclone just swept him into a wine bottle, and there's where he had to stay. So he was twisted up in there, and they had to break the bottle to get him out eventually. But it was great grandfather's bottle. Nobody wanted to break it because he brought it over from the old country. But there's one point in the story where the woman, they hear it coming through like a freight train. They're all in the root cellar, right? And so when she opens up the door, the farm is gone, the fence is gone, the house is gone, the barn's gone, everything's gone. Everything's gone. And except for these 6 hens that are out there, but all their feathers have been blown off in the story that I write. And she said, "Look, don't look, look, don't look, look, don't look." And so she's shivering. What's the matter? She says, these hens are undressed. And the little boy looks up and he goes, "No, those are dressed. Because when we get them from the butcher, you say, give us a dressed hen. He gives us one with no feathers." And so there's this dichotomy in the language that comes through. Anyway, long story. That's a funny story. I think I recorded it somewhere. I need to find that and I'll give you a link to it. All right, so make a shift, make a story. So if you're not painting right now, if you're not quilting and the quilt doesn't have a story, you're just making a quilt to keep people warm. Is that good? Yes, it is if you live in the Midwest. But in the South, it ought to have a tale to it. It ought to say, my son, crazy as he is and creative as he is, one of my middle child, the well-adjusted middle child, he's going to make a quilt this next year. And he's using pieces of his shirts that he wore all through the 80s. He goes, I've kept all those to make a quilt someday. And my wife has made quilts for us and our kids, and my mother made quilts for all our kids. So if you're making something, make a shift to make sure it has a story. And it'll connect with people. There's my warm-up for today for me and the book. So that's it. Make a shift. Ansel Adams, what did he do? He went out and sat on the mountainside. What did he shoot? He shot a box camera, waited all day for the light to be just right so he could capture it. What do you think he did while he was waiting? He probably made stories up about people who lived in those mountains and people who didn't and people who wanted to. And I don't know, there had to be great stories because when you look at his black and white artwork today, you're just pulled in. I want people to be pulled into your artwork like that, all right? Hey, morning, Jack. Morning, Brittany. Thank you guys for jumping on today. I appreciate y'all being here. I'm going to paint something today. Don't have a whole lot of time, so I'm going to do something really crazy. It's been coffee time all week. Right there it is right there. There's my alarm clock, the little peep with the ball peen hammer. Coffee time with Rue. So I'm going to paint you a little coffee Rue right here on this little block. Pretty fancy paper, actually. It's Fabriano. Fabulous paper. 100% cotton. You know, you don't have to buy 100% cotton when you're first buying, but if you can afford to buy it. Judy says she just got a top fan thing to pop up. Okay. Does that just happen every now and then? I don't know how to make that happen, but I thank you guys for saying that. And Lisa, you guys have an apiary? Ooh, I love bees. Me too. I don't have hives anymore, but we were working in the shop yesterday, and Davidson looked up, and he goes, "What kind of hat is that with that net on? Is that a bee hat?" I said, "Yeah, that was my father. I have his smoker and his gloves and his hive tool, all the stuff." All right, so here we go. Just going to grab, am I going to grab a pen or a pencil? No, not a pencil, just a pen. All right, here we go. 05 again, Pentel. I need something like this right here. I need a Rue that's looking over here. Maybe he's looking down like this. And it's Friday morning, so look at him. He's a little disheveled. Okay, that's the word that I use when the Rues are just looking like they just got out of bed. You know, my mother used to say, "Did you get up on the wrong side of the bed?" And I go, "Nope." She said, "I think you did." And I said, "Mom, I didn't." And she said, "How do you know?" And I said, "Because I would have gotten into the wall, because you put my bed against the wall. So how could I have gotten up on the wrong side of the bed?" And she'd go, "You know what? You're just," and I go, "different?" And then that would also make me smile and make her smile. And then both of us would wind up looking at life a little different that morning. It was a shift. Not one that I was wearing or she was wearing. But in the story, the little peeps or the little hens that come out of when they open up the root cellar doors, see them. they didn't have on any feathers. They had chicken bumps on top of their goose bumps, so the wind was blowing. And so all she found of her house was the calico curtains from the kitchen, and she made them all little shifts. So now when they're out there and they're, can you see me rocking like this? Now when they're out there but picking up corn, it looks like a little waltz. I gotta go find that story. It makes me laugh. It's sad when you make yourself laugh. You've been in this room too long by yourself. Okay, so here we go. Man, I like this Baroque music this morning. Thank you for hanging in. You have no choice. You don't know what I'm going to play. And sometimes I don't either. Okay? Still drawing those diner mugs. Okay, this one's a little more of I wanted to come into a little pottery mug this morning, so I made the bottom just a little wider out here like this. Put some lines in the handle like this. There's a little line across here. Ground my roosters. There's my sketch today. I like when he's talking to somebody. I like conversations. I like the story. That's not a shift for me, but for some of you, think of what the story's going to be when you get this put together, okay? So they both have a foot up there. All right, so he's on the edge of the cup, just balanced there. Got a little box down here. Not an apple box this time. Sugar. Could be, and let's just make a little sugar container out of it. There we go. It's a little sugar canister. That's what it is right there. So there it is. See, I changed on the fly, just like that. Story just flew differently in my head as I saw it. I like this. He's a little droopy right here. He's got some lines sticking out. Now, I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this pen. Top's left off the top of that one. Yeah, kind of be dry a little bit. Okay. So let's see. Let me slide back up here and say hello to a few more folks. I think I lost my place. Andrea, Judy, Linda, Jennifer Parker. That was last for me. So much for the. Oh, was that you, Jennifer? I sent you the recipe. Thanks. Sorry. Who knows where I am? Hadn't heard that in years. I don't know what I just said. Oh, shift. I know the word shift. Isn't that funny? Yeah. It was in the 50s and 60s. I'm thinking that the dress fashion then was a shift. Yeah, it was called a shift. And it was not only, it was just very cotton. It was very straight. Usually had a zipper. Look at this. Lynn's on it. Lynn says, yes, a simple cotton sort of straight dress, usually a zipper or keyhole with a button back. Oh, my gosh. And is that perfect? Think about that. Those little hens having these little shifts on, and they're out there and they're just kind of doing the wind's blowing and they're picking corn. And when they move in, the little shift is kind of moving more than the hen. I think that'd be a good children's book. Good morning, kind sir. Hey, Jamie, Peggy. Carol's mother, Peggy, is watching. Hey, Peggy, the Cooper and Thief Court were on yesterday. Sent me on a search for it, found it. Oh, yeah. Hey, Jackie, a cooper is a person who makes the barrels for wine. Yes, so Cooper and Thief. And when you do Cooper and Thief, you're going to find out some amazing things in the wine and bourbon world. Study the history background. I don't even drink it, but I like it. Bought my first cotton paper. Man, thank you guys for sharing this stuff. All right, so I think I caught up with you there a little bit. Okay, here we go. So this is my painting today. I'm trying to work fast here. I don't know why. I do. I'm leaving a little early today, almost 4 minutes early. All right, so here we go. I'm going to paint this disheveled rooster, and I don't know. I was going to put some of these spots in here with this pen. I just want him to have some little feathers that are out of place, little rough lines, squiggly lines. This makes him feel like he got up on the wrong side of the bed, as I was talking about, And when the chickens get up on the wrong side of the bed, man, that's tough because, they could get up underneath the tractor. And maybe he has. Maybe there's some oil spots right here. There's a couple little oil drips coming down from right there. See, I think you... some people go into a painting and they narrate it saying, oh yeah, and I knew I was going to put this over here. I'm not real sure where we're going. I do know this. I painted a painting like this many years ago. I think it was back in, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, 2017 or something like that. I saw a little clip of something. All right, so here we go. There we goes the wattle and the comb. And the comb's got some of that black in it. Didn't fill it all in. I think you can see that. I'm going to come in just a little bit for you to just give you a little closer view of this roux. That may help some of you right there, okay? Wow, Lynn, grew up on a farm. Your mom made you dresses or shifts out of cotton feed bags. There you go. I made it for live. Okay, Lisa, welcome. Glad you're here. Thank you for popping on this morning. Hey, thank you guys for sharing my page too. And, I posted a couple of these. They always stay posted on Facebook, but I've also put a couple of them on a YouTube site that you can go find out there. So if you Google Roux Doodles or hashtag Roux Doodles or Roosters Painted, or just go to I don't think it's under Roux Doodles. I think you probably have to find it Michael Hahn. I think there's a little YouTube. I'm eventually going to open up a different YouTube channel, and for some of the work, whether or not I keep doing this online every morning or not, I will. I'll go for a few more days. I haven't made my decision on 100 yet. Whew, man, that seems like a lot. But you're saying to yourself, what else you got to do this morning? Okay, I'm shifting again. Look at this. We're shifting today. I'm shifting from ultramarine for the last 10 years. I'm going down to the cerulean, which I would have never purchased personally. It came in the Van Gogh box. There it is, Van Gogh right there. So I'm going in for a little blue. It might grow on me. We used to have a goldfish named Cerulean. I think he died because he was blue. Boom, I'll be here all week. Okay, a little bit of yellow in this roux. I'm not going to overpaint him because he's disheveled, right? But I do want to come in here and get some of these oil leaks that I said were kind of coming down from the top. Sound a little hoarse this morning. All right, leave a little green under here like this. Just let that bleed in with my pen a little bit. Come in here. His coffee sitting out on the yard. Where else would his coffee be sitting? Maybe it's got some coffee stains already around it here. I love my mugs to be Sag Harbor gray. It's just my style. They remind me of my diner mugs there. See? So that's a pretty close to that. It also makes the white seem whiter when you put in a little beige close to it. I love that. I love that there's a little coffee running down the side like this. And maybe so like so. Men are weird about their cups. Don't wash that cup. And you're like, oh, give me a break, But this is Hat Show Prince again. I think you can see the logo there out in Nashville. I don't put these in the dishwasher. If they've got a logo on it of a company that I really love, when people send me mugs, sometimes I don't put those in the dishwasher. I wash those by hand. My wife washes those by hand. Sometimes I do, but she serves me well. Awesome woman. Okay, so here's our disheveled roux. Oh man, I'm sort of liking him. He's a little bit calico, like those those hens I was telling you about. They're wearing the shifts made out of calico curtains. All right, this is going to be a great little painting. I like it. I think it needs a touch of sky, not much, just maybe a little water up here. This paper, by the way, that I'm using today, this is this Fabriano 5x7, 100% cotton. It's called Extra White, and so it makes the colors really pop out. Ooh. Wow, how fun is that? Lynn got a great story about a mug. The potter sent you another one. Carl, welcome, man. I'll remind you of the brand of watercolor. As a matter of fact, I'm going to throw this. The watercolor I'm using is from Cheap Joe's. It's American Journey. I'm going to see if you can see that right there. I don't know why my camera refuses to focus today. Got too many things going on in here. American Journey right there. Got a little guy standing, looks like Jean Muir standing up there painting on the mountain. In that case, it would be somebody else in the Appalachians, because Joe Miller actually owns a store, lives in Boone. American Journey are his colors, and I really do like them. They're vivid, they're bold, they're very light fast. I just started trying to find a good color, and I had a son who was a hammer thrower for Appalachian State, and so I'd be up in Appalachian all the time, and sometimes in delays of track meets and things, we'd visit with him, and I'd run down to the art store and say, I got to go to the art store for a little bit. So I'd go down, and my Baroque music just broke, apparently. It's hard to paint the opera. Just have a hard time with that. All right, little canister with the green lid there. Okay, I think you can see that. All right, so I wet this paper up here and started talking about it, and then I interrupted myself. I am going to get a little of that ultramarine blue and just drop it in here just a little bit like this. Just barely touching it. This is what I love about the bamboo brushes. Excuse me. Wow. I took a sneezing fit. Welcome to the allergy day, and that's also blacksmithing yesterday. Oh my gosh, my nose didn't turn out right. Okay, here we go. So it's morning sky, so let's put a little bit of purple in there, and also a little bit of the sun coming up yellow. But be careful how you drop in a little yellow on a blue sky, right? Or it's going to turn into some green. There's some little streaks still in the sky, maybe just a touch more on that, and that may be a little much, so I'm going to go in here with my blotter, which is a royal paper towel, and just take some of that out. Go back and grab a little blue here like this. That's going to give me a good looking sky right there. And then we'll just grab a little bit of brush here, take this and just give it a little bit. And also, I think we got a little splatter going on this too. That's too much splatter. There we go. That's too much. There we go. I like that right there. Okay. It's kind of a messy painting. It goes with his disheveled look, okay? All right. Thank you, Terry. You like the colors of this roof? Of course you would, because that's your blue. You're a turquoise person, and you would love this cerulean paint that I have here. So I'm going to just do some other dots in here with this pen. Look what's happening when I take my fountain pen. I don't know why they call it a fountain. It's not really a fountain. You have to work with them like crazy to get them to work sometimes, so it's not a very good fountain. He's just got little messy little hair and feathers all over the place. Here's one over here that's kind of hanging out a little sideways, twisted. He's disheveled, no doubt. Okay, all right. So then there's a little bit of coffee in the mug, and I think the saying is this. All right, my brain is coming up with it right here. Love the spatter, splatter, schmatter. Me too. Bless you, Skeeter. See you, buddy. Off and running. Let's see. I think here's what this says. Those of you who are trying to read, I love that. You're going like, what is he doing now? Need another cup of sugar in my teaspoon of coffee. That's how when I wake up in the morning, I'm going like, man, you know what I need? I need a little more. I need a little more coffee in my teaspoon or my cup full of sugar, because I just want some to get going. There's some right there. Okay, so a few marks on the cup here, just some light reflection marks. And I love this. Now, remember, this paper, by the way, is glued around on most edges, okay? It's got a glue base all the way around it, like here and here. All right, so what you do now is you find out where there's a loose little section, like sometimes a loose corner. There it is right there. Take a look. See that? There's a loose corner. All right, I'm going to grab my palette knife, or thin. You might could use a letter opener. I'm going to keep the blade turned down, and I'm just going to slide it under the paper, going down this way. Got to be careful. Slide it down. Slide it around like so. Slide it underneath, under here. Bingo. And now you've got a full block. So the advantage of buying blocks sometimes, one is I have to take it off now or I can't paint on that again, but usually artists will walk off and do something else, and you'll go do several things around and come back to your painting. In this case, it'll dry really flat, so when you get it, there's no chance of warping. It's still going to frame flat. But there, need another cup of sugar and my teaspoon of coffee. So that's what the disheveled Roo would say. I see one thing I want to change on him. I don't like the focus of his eye yet, so I'm going to come in here and just give him a little more of an eye like that. Perfect, okay? So I like the eyes to work. The eyes have it. All right, hey, last little painting here in 10 minutes. Watch this. Yesterday when I was sitting here, I had a couple, I brought up, just because I have so much trash up here, I brought up a Trader Joe's bag. And let me pull this camera back out just a little bit so you can see what we got going here. So this is the disheveled art disc. But I brought up this Trader Joe bag, and I took a pair of scissors and I just cut it apart. And it reminded me, and I don't cut straight anyway, so it reminded me of a kitchen apron. Does that look like a little kitchen apron to you? I thought so. See, that's like a little kitchen apron. It just needs some little ties here on the side. So I took the other side of it and I cut it sort of like that too. And I thought, well, let's just make a shift here. Let's paint on a brown bag. There you go. So, Lisa, you got it. He looks like I feel without my coffee. Yeah, there we go. Drink my coffee black. Sounds like something my husband would say. That's right. Love it. Thank you very much. I'm a tea drinker, too. That's what I'm drinking this morning. But about 2 days a week, I'll have a nice cup of coffee. Just so when I'm running around outside, my stomach feels weird. That's why I do it. Just kidding. All right, so let's see. This is an apron, Roo. I think this would be fun here. How about this? Let's just sketch it with a fountain pen. I mean, let's be really bold here. What am I going to do? I'm going to do. We'll do a bowl. See that? I don't know how this is going to paint, to tell you the truth. It's been a long time since I painted it. I taped it down on this board. So it's a piece of paper bag. Matter of fact, if you can see the back of it, there's the back. Look, this is a Trader Joe's bag. Okay? Just cut it off. By the way, the handles, that's the thing, man. They're handles. You don't want to trust the Trader Joe's handle. So put your hand under the bottom. I harass them at my local Trader Joe's, which is only 1.5 miles from here, by the way. And so my wife cooks, and so they're always asking her, what are you cooking tonight? And so she's invited a couple folks over. They haven't come yet, but we have friends that work there, and it's pretty fun. So, all right, so here's... I like little Peep's legs. They just seem like they're longer than they need to be. And, when they're young, I love that concept of, it's like, wow, look at the size of the legs on that Peep. All right, this just came to me. I didn't know what I was going to paint on this, but watch this. All right. I look like a bat. Yeah, all right. What this reminded me of, too, this morning was my friend Erica in Jacksonville. One day I went into her house and she said, I have a project for you. My wife and I were staying with her on the Intercoastal for a while. I said, what's that? She said, come in here on the table. I have these 5 aprons sitting in here. And I didn't think of that until right now. That's funny that, and she said, I need you to paint something on them for this event I'm doing. I have a kitchen team that's coming in, and I'd like to give them some sort of little apron. And I said, oh my gosh, I'd love to do that. Okay. And so she had all this paint for fabric, and I'm going like, what does it paint like? I mean, like I don't know what this paint does, and so I mixed it all up and got fussing around with it a little bit, and I painted 5 aprons, and one had a rooster and a hen making with a rolling pin making biscuits, and that was sort of led me into doing some of my tea towels, which I thought, wow, this would be fun to have some kitchen things. So here, this is a paper bag. Like I said, I don't know how it's going to paint. I've got 10 minutes to knock it out. Here we go. All right. Let's go back to something really good here on my classical music section. See if I can run it back down to something broke that I really love. What would I like? Here we go. Oh, wow. It's doing pretty well. Look at that. Now, we do have an original that's painted on brown paper, but I don't know what it's going to do when I'm trying not to put a lot of water in there. I think you can see that well enough. I don't know how it's going to dry. We'll have to wait and see just a little bit. I like where it's going so far, though. A little orange in this guy here. Maybe a little black in the wings. I always do that. Some of my peeps just touch it in there like that. Took the paper a little bit. Isn't it funny how that black and orange and green go together, or excuse me, yellow go together, and I get a little green that comes out, and also that's that paper. Missed that white showing through on cotton paper, but that's a pretty cool look so far. So let's see. I like a little bit of this color right here. Here's what I'm looking at right here. I think I'm going to pull some of this over, which is some earthy tone. Just give his beak a little bit of a different burn. I'll do his while I have the same brush out right there. And I might run that down his leg. That's a good leg color for these guys. All right, he's got his hand wrapped around this. Oh, this is cool. This is cool. All right, I'm making my shift today. Look what I'm doing, Terry. All you folks. All right, here we go. Ultramarine is what I always paint with. I'm going to this cerulean, or I don't know what color it is. I'll look it up before we before I come back next week. Okay. I'll probably paint in the morning. Tomorrow's Saturday. I'll probably paint tomorrow. But got a busy day today, so I don't know if I'll come back. Okay, so, oh, look what this Sag Harbor Gray's doing here. This is cool. I thought this might look good. This is going to look like an old, one of those old ceramic bowls or porcelain bowls, you know, that you find back in the 50s, because we're making a shift today. I love it when the painting works out the music. Obviously, my timing was a little off there, but I didn't know what was going to happen. So, oh, that's cool so far. All right. You know what? There is some bleed happening, but not much. But also, so not what you would expect. But I'm also good question, Kim. You said on this brown bag, is there much bleed happening? Not as much as watercolor paper, because you've got a surface that absorbs really a lot, and so it's soaking that ink in. Sometimes on watercolor paper, if it's hard pressed or cold pressed, that ink will lay up in those little teeth, and then the water hits it. It connects to the cotton dots. I know that sounds crazy, and that's about as technical as I can get. But it's pretty interesting when this happens. Now, what happens here is because I knew that, and because I know this paper's slick, I have used less water in my brush. So you hear me rinse, you see me rinsing my brush out over here, but I'm going in with a little drier brush and picking up my paint. The reason I did that too, there was a method to that, was that I felt like I needed a bolder stroke, less water, to help the paint just be enhanced on this on this brown piece of paper. Okay. So that was part of it. And I think some of this is going to sink in anyway, and it's actually going to look a little duller when it's done. It's already happening right here. See how this is sort of picking up a little bit of the blue? All right, so this guy's here is going to get, so there's more paint, less water in my brush right now than what I normally paint with on watercolor paper. If that helps some of you who are always painting along or experimenting or shifting your worlds, okay? All right, see, is there anything under this? No, it's just not a flat piece of paper. It's got a wrinkle in it anyway. I don't really care. I think this is kind of a fun thing to know that it's a paper bag. It's a grocery bag, and it's going to hang up on the wall like an apron. I think we got to put some batter splatters here. So let's see what this looks like. If I come in here with some titanium white, and I don't use white a lot, but this might call for some white simply because I'm painting on brown paper. Remember, most of the white that you use in watercolor is just your paper, okay? You've got that beautiful paper that's needs to stay with holidays in it. Don't fill everything in and think, oh, I want to come back in and add some white on top of watercolor. Don't do it. Leave white space. Some of you eventually one of these days will get into some masking fluid, and it's going to be real interesting when you do, but I hardly ever use it. If I were painting a big landscape, I might use a little bit of a masking fluid or a crayon or something, and I just paint it on there, but you have to peel it up, and it's high maintenance painting, and I'm pretty low maintenance dude. You figured that out already, right? Okay, I'd paint in a windstorm if I wanted to, just to see where it'd blow my paint. All right? I just want you to experiment with creativity. Have fun. You know what? If this doesn't turn out well, what have I got to lose? I was going to be sipping tea somewhere this morning anyway, so I'd rather be sipping it here with you guys watching this. So here's my wire whip. A little bit of gray in this wire whip just to give it a little bit of that look. There it is right there. Let's give him a kitchen floor. Yike. Just a nice rusty brown kitchen floor here. Yeah, that's kind of a nice little touch across there like this. That'll also cause my batter to show up when I get in here. All right, now I want to come in with some of this. And then I want to just splatter some batter around the painting. I'm using my Sag Harbor gray here. I want to put some of the batter in the on. How am I doing time-wise? Ha-ha! I almost made my 10 minutes here. I'm liking it, okay? All right. This is a good painting. At least I've done some kitchen towels. I did some tea towels, actually. Would love this on a real apron with kitchen towels and pot holders. Well, yeah. Wouldn't we all? Look, man, I'll tell you though, I love ideas like that when I have them, and then I go to about to produce them, and I realize that the cost it takes to produce stuff like that. And so, I'm going to have to put a tip jar on my site so you guys can own some of my ideas every now and then. That'll help. All right. So now I'm going to go back and just add a little bit of this yellow. And I think this is called, let me find a big bold pen here. Man, I have got that pancake batter everywhere. Batter up. I think that's what this is called right here. Batter up. Sign it right here. 6/5/20. I put the full date on that just so we'd know. Some lines in the pot. Go ahead and take my finger right there and just mess that up a little bit. I like it. I like it a lot. Just go in here with some more of this batter, a little bit here, a little bit dripping down from right there. Sometimes on drips, you can just go get a little bit here. I think a drip or two here would be nice. And then maybe turn the bag up and just let that drip come down. You see that right there? That drip that ran down? Then I'm going to lay it back down on a slant like this and just let it dry like that. Love it. Okay, so there's a shift by mistake. The reason I don't tape everything down on a big desk and lose control is that I just picked this thing up and I tipped it over with enough water in that paint to create this drip right here. And look at it. I didn't have to paint the drip. I just let the drip run. And what that does is it gives it a natural look that you go, how did he paint that? And you go, he didn't. He just let it run down the page. Hey, use your noggin, okay? You people are smart. So when you go to create things, experiment with it. Don't be afraid to fail, people. It's watercolor. Okay, hey, that's going to wrap it up for me. I got 2 paintings I did this morning that have to do, one with coffee, the other one with breakfast. I had another one I was going to paint, but hey, ran out of time. I didn't know it was going to be like the paint on a bag. I'm going to clean this handle up a little bit, and I'll put some detail in here like this. I like the handle on this, though, and I like this little silver ring here. I'll have to clean that up with another pen. This one has quit writing because one thing about speedball or fountain pens, when you get the end wet, it messes them up completely. So I'm trying to be creative with it, and it's not allowing me. So I'm going to go in here with another ballpoint pen. That's why I keep one up here sometimes. I'll just do some marks down like this. There we go. A little more razzmatazz here. This guy's going like this. All right. That's fun. That's fun. That's fun. That's fun. Okay. Hey, what a fun morning with you guys. Look at this. I'm going to show you how it looks. I'm going to peel off this tape, which is going to take some of the edge off. And I'll hold it up for you. I can't hold it up too much, though, because here's what's going to happen. It's going to, I think what I might do is take some of this. It's hard to quit, isn't it? Just swipe through some batter up right there. All right. And it needs a little more splatter right up in here. That's fun. All right, I'm going to see how that dries, and I may post it, but it's got a little way to hang it. You can hang it by the handle of the bag. Might trim this off a little bit, and then maybe go in. Watch this. 2 more minutes. Here we go. Watch this. Make it a little more angled on the corners right here, like this. All right, there's your apron. There's your morning apron out of a shopping bag. Never tried that before. I've painted on brown paper before, but not just cut the shopping bag right 2 minutes before I went on live this morning. So there it is. The paper's wrinkling up some, but I love it because it's going to frame well. And then you're going to look at it and go, my gosh, it's a Trader Joe's bag. How awesome is that? Okay, I love it. Those white splatters show up really nicely. Okay, hey, have a blessed day. I'll probably see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to post this back. Somebody would love to have this hanging in their kitchen, I bet. And if my wife doesn't want it. I thought you weren't painting today. I missed the whole thing. Margaret, I'm sorry. No, I was painting today. Today is Friday. And so you can watch it. And I'm sorry you just popped on. But hey, I painted an apron. Okay. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, hopefully. Lord willing, I'll be here. Encourage somebody today. Send a text. Send one of your paintings out. And shift is the word today. Not wear one, for heaven's sake. Especially Neil, you and Carl, and Skeeter, and Jack, all you guys that are watching. But shift something in your thinking today. Okay? It's important that you do. All right. Have a blessed day. Finished on the music. And the sound effect today is this. Boy, it makes me sound like I need a haircut. Whoa. And I do. All right. Blessings. Bye.